Hello, beautiful butterflies. All right, it's Friday evening, about to be Shabbat Shalom. So, peace and love, everybody. I don't know if I said hello, beautiful butterflies. Anyway, that's what I meant to say. This is my hot take on the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his cell less than 30 days before a bail review for child sex trafficking, which he had been accused of previously, and I think it was adjudicated away. In other words, he went through some sort of judicial process and nothing ever happened to him. Okay. That being said, it's been rumored and maybe even testified to that he was a sex trafficker for the purpose of blackmailing, being able to blackmail people. In other words, he had an island, like a pleasure island kind of sort of thing, like they have in that movie, the cartoon Pinocchio, where he sent bad little boys. And he had that island. He also had a private jet called the Lolita Express, where it's been rumored that people of all, kinds of highfalutin status were notoriously aboard. And he had outfitted his entire home. As a matter of fact, the home on the island, and his house in New York, and the one in Florida, he had those homes outfitted with cameras everywhere. Cameras in the bedrooms, cameras in the hallways, cameras in the bathrooms, cameras in the kitchen. And he also, well, let me say this too. One of his so-called pimps is in jail right now, I think serving at least 20 years. So some crimes were committed, clearly. And what the scandal is now is after at least 4 years worth of conspiracy theories and conjecture theories, like he killed himself. No, that he didn't kill himself, and that he was murdered. Conspiracy theories that the former prime minister of Israel had visited him like 30 times after he was accused of being a pedophile the first time. Oh, did I say this was about underage people? Yeah. My point being, he was doing the exact same thing that people said that Diddy did before Diddy's trial. The wild thing to me is all that stuff they said Diddy did, they did not charge him with. The multiple cameras in every room, the recording of so-called celebrities and high-profile musicians engage in nefarious sexual practices. He wasn't charged with any of that. They raided his house and took out boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of evidence, and none of that saw the light of day in a whole 7-week trial. This stuff, it just sounds so similar to me. It sounds so similar to me. Jeffrey Epstein and P. Diddy were both rumored to have been behaving the same way. And ultimately, nothing has become of it in either case. As a matter of fact, I remember one time Kanye West said that Diddy was a fed. It's also rumored that Epstein was a fed. Anyway, the Trump administration this past week, after promising to release the Epstein files, have come out last week, and said there's no Epstein files. There's no client list. He absolutely committed suicide. There's nothing to see. We're not releasing nothing. We're not giving you no evidence. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. It's the same thing to me. And then today, which is probably why I'm making this video, because when I saw this, my mouth dropped open. Today I saw a video of Amy Robach, who used to be an anchor, like on the Today Show. She was just sitting there talking about how she tried for 3 years to get this story about Jeffrey Epstein on the news. And she was rebuffed and rebuffed and rebuffed and rebuffed and rebuffed. And I didn't know that was going on, but shortly after that, Amy Robach's whole life blew up, if you remember. She got into, well, she was married, and the guy, TJ Holmes, I think that's his name, was her co-host. And the two of them got caught being in, I guess, an extramarital affair. Because he was married, she was married, they were co-hosts, the whole shit blew up. They both lost their multi-million-dollar contracts, and she hasn't really been heard of since. Until today when I saw this old video of her. Sorry, summer. So I saw this old video of her discussing how she was really trying to break her neck to get his story out. And she was talking about all the same stuff. That there were names, dates, video, evidence, just to end up at the end of the day with nothing ever coming of it. I don't know. All I know is that this scandal has appeared to be the first big stumbling block for Donald Trump's second term. People in his base are very upset with what appears to be the continuation of a cover-up of a crime. A cover-up of a crime against children. And oh yeah, I heard that there was supposed to be some underage victims in Diddy's trial. None ever materialized. They were like at least 10, at least 5. None ever materialized. It's weird to me. Why did the Donald Trump administration ball this thing up and throw it in the trash right in our faces? That is the question. I think that potentially, really I think it's one of 3 things. I used to say one of 2 things, but now I'm like one of 3 things. The first thing is Israel, and I'm only mentioning Israel because it's rumored that Jeffrey Epstein was in cahoots with the Mossad, which is the Central Intelligence Agency of Israel. So either Israel stepped to Donald Trump and said, drop this shit before we do something to you, or they took a very good look at the evidence and they decided we cannot go public with this. If we go public with this, every country in this world is going to be gunning for us. Because the rumor is, allegedly, that is high ups involved in this pedophile ring. Just like with Diddy, it's supposed to be all these musicians and rappers and movie stars. On the Epstein side, it's them plus presidents, first ladies, Hillary Clinton, allegedly, heads of state, politicians, senators, representatives, mayors, governors, and heads of state from other countries. Prince Andrew got kicked out of the royal family behind this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. And he's still claiming that he's innocent, but think about it. If you're the Queen of England, you don't kick your son out of the royal family behind some rumor that has no chance of being true. You just don't do it. That's not how they roll normally, or at all, really. So, I don't know. When they had the press conference the other day, and somebody asked a question about Jeffrey Epstein, and Donald Trump is zapped out saying, why are you even talking about this anymore? That was so out of character for him. And what it looked like to me, I mean, usually Donald Trump is smooth. He can take any question. He doesn't lose his cool. He might scream on you, but he doesn't lose his cool. It appeared that he lost his cool. And what it looked like to me is he was pissed. I think that he was pissed off because he fully intended to be very transparent and release the Epstein files as promised, release the JFK files, which he has done, release the MLK files, which he has done. Both of those were anticlimactic. They put them online. You can read them or not read them. I guess people did. I haven't heard very much being said about either one. And at the end of the day, I think he was pissed because either somebody higher than him told him to drop that shit or else, or he was pissed because it was obviously being botched and he does not want to be associated with any shoddy operations coming out of his White House. Or what's the third thing that it could possibly be? No, I don't think that he's on the list. He knew Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, he did. They were neighbors down in South Florida, where all them rich people hang out. I don't know what it's called, Palm Springs or whatever it's called down there. They were neighbors. They even supposedly may have been very close friends. But when Jeffrey Epstein got called a pedophile the first time, Donald Trump revoked his membership to Mar-a-Lago and told him to get out and don't ever come back. So I do not think that Donald Trump is going to be implicated in this. Another reason why I don't think Donald Trump will be implicated in this is because they threw everything but a bull spaghetti stick at that man, and none of it stuck. And they would have grabbed this and threw that at him too, if they could have. And by they, I mean the deep state. But this is wild. It's a hot take, but it's not finished cooking yet. I may have to think of some other things and come back, because this is not over. Thank you so much for listening. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, and share. Peace. Happy Friday.